Action. There's been much discussion about single mothers, their plights as well as their opportunities. Hardly is mentioned ever of the men who were in the lives of these single mothers. As a follow-up to our last week program on single mothers, we are about to air the other side of this story. Our guest is a father who has been denied access to his children for more than a decade. Oftentimes, it is assumed that the fathers absconded from their responsibilities, but the truth is that is not always the case. Join us now in this broadcast to hear a father's perspective on the single parent's story. Our guest today is someone who, after many years of working in logistics, went further to study modern business administration. He grew from bookkeeper to financial interim manager. Afterwards, was educated privately for 7 years in Nirana method, which has enabled him to have a private practice of helping people with mental problems for the past 16 years. He is a father. He is an author of Verloren Kinderen, that means lost children, and a mental health officer with Nirana Health Institute. Help me welcome Mr. Gerard Wouters to Radio Voice of Niger Dynamic Good Morning Show. Welcome, Mr. Gerard.
Thank you for your invitation.
We are glad you are here today. So, my first question is there any father who would like to stay alone without a mother of her children?
Sorry?
Is there any father who would like to stay alone without the mother of his children?
No, of course not.
You think so?
Every father wants to see his children, so...
No, but does every father want to be with the woman that made the kids?
No, of course not. No, there comes a time that you grow apart, and then you have to choose your own path. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah. Sometimes a relationship doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then you have to come at a point that you say, well, it isn't working for me, so I'm going my own way.
Wow. 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 So, how did you end up being a single father, and do you enjoy being one?
Well, as I already said, the relationship didn't work, so there comes a point that you say, well, you know, I'm happier alone than with you. And that's the point that you have to take your responsibility and leave. But, well, time that the first years after that,
Yes.
of course, fighting for my children,
Yeah.
to see my children, that was no less than hell. Yeah, was no less than hell.
Really?
The first 5 years are absolutely the worst.
You know that what we want to do here is not just to hear a story, but you know we want to balance the whole equation, because all the time women are always tagged single mothers, and you don't see the fathers.
No,
you don't see
no,
them,
no.
and nobody mention the fathers. And sometimes I begin to wonder, is it that the fathers are shy to come out to say their own plight, because it's only that of the women we hear?
Well, I think the problem is not not as much that they're shy, that they're ashamed of their situation.
They are ashamed.
Absolutely.
But is it not when they voice out that other people will also get to know what is happening, and then people can learn? Because our experiences are meant to help somebody else.
Yeah, but the problem is there are different roles in life, and the role of the man is supposed to be the leader, one who has everything under control.
Yes.
And well, when you enter a process like this, fighting to see your children, you find out that you have nothing. You have no control. You have no saying in the matter. Everything depends on the cooperation of the mother.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't come, then you have a very big problem. And a lot of people, a lot of men are ashamed of this situation, that I cannot control this.
What, I've heard you mention this thing 2 times within 2 minutes.
Mm.
What do you mean by fighting to see your own children? What can you throw a little bit light to this, to somebody who is out there listening to us?
Mm.
What do you mean by that?
Well, after I left, I could see my children, but as soon as I started a new relationship, then my ex started to become so angry that she would deny me my children. So there was no other option than go to court, go to the judge and see if I can get some justice there.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I didn't find it anywhere.
Oh.
No.
Not even in the court?
No. No. No.
Do you mean that they supported your ex?
Yeah. Yeah. They followed her completely, in every way. When you enter court, when you start fighting for your children, and you show that you're frustrated and angry because you're not allowed to see them, well, then they start treating you like a criminal.
Oh.
And then you're the bad guy.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, you're the bad guy. And they follow that on the complete processes. And everybody supports the mother. Everybody chooses the side of the mother, and well, they don't listen to you, not at all. When you're frustrated, they say you're aggressive. You say, well, I have the right to see my children. They say, yes, you see, you're aggressive. That's not good for the children.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, oh, you have no idea. It's not, I didn't write my book just for fun. I wrote my book, Lost Children,
yes,
to show the outside world what is happening in these processes.
Yes, we are going
how
to talk
you are
about
being
that.
treated, and it's absolutely incredible how you are treated.
You made mention that from the moment you found another lover, then your ex became jealous.
Yeah.
Is that applicable to all the women or what?
Yeah, that's what happens.
Does that mean that they're expecting when they have dumped or when it has gone sour, the man had to just be empty?
Yeah.
No other woman have to take their position?
In my case, my ex always assumed that I'd come back. And when she found out I had somebody else, she became very, very, very angry. Yeah. She became very angry. And she denied me my children.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, what should every man know about a woman, to your own opinion?
Well, my advice would be when you are planning to leave, do it slowly.
Oh.
Do it very slowly.
Why?
And start debuilding the relationship. You know, debuilding the relationship.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean by debuilding? Breaking it
Well,
down?
no, slowly become more distant.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the exact word, but
yeah.
debuilding, you know.
Yeah, I do.
Slowly take more distance, and you know, yeah, that's the advice I would give.
Yeah, but the question is, what should every man know about a woman? That's the question.
Yeah, well, what they should
to your own opinion, yeah.
What will you have in the relationship?
What should they know about a woman? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. What are you saying, please?
Well,
in a relationship, that's what I mean.
In the relationship,
yes.
Well,
because I'm sure from the way you are speaking, you've been through a lot.
Oh yeah, I've been through a lot. Yeah, of course, yeah. Well, I've always been very good to the women in my life, kind, thoughtful, and well, sometimes I think, well, you know, maybe it doesn't work. Because the funny thing happens that the bad boys they always see their children when they divorce.
The bad ones.
And the loving fathers don't. And I've noticed it through the years.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people and a lot of men who are in this situation in my practice, and that's the trend. Yeah, that's what I notice, and it's unbelievable. It's very strange. Yeah.
Well, why is it that way? Because, so it means that women don't like men who are kind to them, or
Well,
men who are
they turn
kind-hearted.
against them when they leave. They get so angry losing the knight in shining armor to somebody else that, yeah, they become very mean. Yeah, they become very mean, and they go against you. They do everything to hurt you.
Yes.
But the problem is they don't see that they hurt the children. They don't want to see that.
Exactly.
They don't want to see that they hurt the children, so they use the children as leverage to get their way from you.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what happens.
And while they are doing that, then they are damaging the children.
Yeah, and they don't have a clue.
Jesus.
They don't have a clue themselves that they do this. And I think there should be more focus and more attention for this fact. Yeah.
In your practice, helping the mental people, have you come across maybe children who were damaged because of this sort of relationship we are talking about now?
Yeah.
And how does that make you feel? Please, can you speak out? How does it make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel rather sad that somebody has to use the children to, well, you know, hurt their ex. That makes me really sad that it still happens every day. In all these years, this has been, the last court day was 2005, and I have to notice that nothing has changed, and I find it incredible.
What has
nothing
changed?
has changed.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed in these processes. They're still the same. Nothing changes. Children are still being abused by the system, and I find it incredible. So the system doesn't learn. That's my point. The system just won't learn.
So the system is stagnant.
Yeah.
So they just handle issues the same old,
Yeah.
not minding. Do they get to know that the children are complaining?
No. They hardly see the children. They only deal with the mother. And they assume that what the mother says is truth.
Wow.
Nobody checks out if what she's saying is the truth. They just write it down and send it to the judge. So they can tell and write down everything, because nobody is checking out if it's right, if it's the truth.
In other words, the system is favoring the mothers.
Yeah. By not finding out the truth. By not looking for the truth in the
So
story.
are they then encouraging single motherhood?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. What they are encouraging is to have the children stay with their mother and live on with her mother without the dad, because the dad is the bad guy. Yeah, and well, I think that's a very strange picture, because
Yes, I think so
I know
too.
myself and I'm absolutely no bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Even if you are a bad guy just to the woman, not to your own kids.
yeah, well, not even that. I've always been very good to her, very kind to her, given her everything she wanted, everything she dreamt about. I gave her. Well, but that's probably the point why she started fighting with me.
Would you be kind enough to really throw a little bit light to what really happened in this relationship, your relationship? Can you tell us a little bit, if you don't mind?
Yeah, of course. Well, let me put it like this: she was quite bossy, greedy. She she wanted a lot, and she was very attached to her parents.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yes. It's incredible. She called her mother 4 times a day.
Really?
And then spent 1 hour on the telephone. It's absolutely, well, after knowing what I know now, I must admit that she's not an adult.
Yeah.
She's still attached to their father, to their parents. And that's not a healthy relationship.
Yeah. So this is, yeah.
And they had complete control of our complete relationship. I can tell you, at one point, we needed another car, and her father took care of everything. Found the car, gave us the money to pay it for it, and I could scream and shout, I don't want it. I had 3 people against me who said, yo, you're going to do it because this is right for you, this is the perfect way, and I had no freedom. That's what I can say.
Wow.
They really completely controlled our life and relationship.
Wow.
And at one time I said, enough is enough. I'm a man, I make my own money,
Yes.
I can only make my own decisions.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, well, she didn't let me. Because her father was on an enormous pedestal, and he knew it all, and well, there was no life. There was no. They completely controlled our relationship, and at one point I felt so as a prisoner in this relationship that there was no other option than leave.
So was it that they were controlling the relationship with their money or what?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And because some guys like it really when they marry to rich families, and then they can just get get things at a platter of gold.
No.
Oh, you never like that?
No. I'm a very independent person.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm a very free person.
Yeah. So
Free spirit.
But before you went in, didn't you know that it was going to be that way?
No. Not a clue. Not
Wow.
a clue.
Wow.
Totally not.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was what happened.
Yeah, well, that's how it happened, yeah. And after 10 years I said, I'm suffocating, I'm leaving. I've tried for 2 years to fight for the relationship, tried to make a change, but it fell on deaf ears. Yeah.
Wow.
After we separated, I had a conversation with her, and I asked her from, what did you hear these past 2 years? In all these conversations that we had, these hours of discussions, what did you hear? The only thing she heard was, I wanted more sex. And that was exactly what I did not tell her and ask her in these discussions.
So how did she frame that question then? How did that answer?
I don't know. I have no clue how she came up with this. I asked for more attention, appreciation, compliments, yeah? And she heard that I wanted more sex, and I find it incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And everywhere she says it, and now I can see why the law is siding her, because everywhere she says it, they will say, oh, no, are you crazy?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. So, what is the best advice you have ever received being in this situation?
Yeah, what's the best advice?
Yes.
Well, stop faster. Don't fight too long.
Okay.
Don't fight too long to keep this relationship alive.
Yes.
Because at one point you have to realize it's not going anywhere. And problem with a lot of women, and I'm now generalizing a little, but the problem with a lot of women is that as soon as they get children, the man does not get any attention anymore. And that's killing for a relationship.
Yes.
And certainly when the dad and her father and her mother are completely in control of the situation, that just makes it a lot worse.
So many women are out there, and then the moment they get children, they just dump their marriage.
Yeah.
They just dump the man.
Yeah.
And then every attention is given to the kids.
Yeah.
So if you're out there and you are listening to us, maybe you are a woman, you can see the damage that sometimes women create in the lives of men without even knowing that that is how they feel. So it's very good that we are hearing from the man's perspective how they feel when things go this way. So please, others who are also out there who may like to give a response or want to call in to add to what Mr. Gerard is speaking here, you can give us a call on 020-737-1619. We are discussing today on single parents, a father's ordeal and perspective. Would you recollect your scariest moment being a single dad?
My scariest moment?
Yeah.
Scariest moment?
Yes,
Whoa.
maybe when you went to the courts and the
2 days before I went to court, I received a 40-page diary from my ex, in which she described all the things that happened, me picking up my daughter, and what I did with her, and she completely, gave her a 3rd degree and put it all on paper. And on the last page she said, I had played dirty games with my daughter.
Oh.
Well, as you can imagine, I almost fell off my chair.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. I was gutted. I was absolutely gutted. I had no idea that this was going to happen. And it never happened, but I had no idea how she came to say this.
Right.
Absolutely, I was completely shocked. Yeah.
So
completely shocked.
All of these lies were just an attempt to hurt you the more.
Yeah. It was all attempted. This was all. The only purpose for all these lies were to deny me my children.
How many children really do you have with her?
2 daughters.
And since when last did you see them?
Well, of course I've written the book.
Yeah, we are going to talk on that book very soon.
I've written the book, and at one time, was about a year ago, somebody told me to give the book to my children. So I found out on Facebook that she worked somewhere, and well, I just went over there and gave her the books.
Okay.
Yeah, so they would see the other side of the story.
Exactly.
Yeah, but after that I didn't hear anything. So they were so brainwashed, and when we talk about the book, I will tell you what the psychological situation there is, but they're obviously so brainwashed that they don't take contact with me, because I've put my address in it, and I put a letter in it why I left, because of what we just discussed, that I was just the money maker and that's it, no attention anymore. Yeah.
Wow.
I just put it in the letter so they would know, my side of the story.
Well, we'll be taking a very short break right now, and we would resume again with this topic. So if you are out there and you would like to respond to what you are hearing as we discuss an ordeal with a father who happened to be denied the privilege of seeing the children for the past 18 years, you think you want to react to this, give us a call now on 020-737-1619 as we go on break. Yeah, she is asking, the caller is asking, what do men really need from women? Because maybe women are fulfilling the... Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much, caller. She said maybe women are playing the role of being there for the children because the men have gone to work. And at the same time now he's hearing from you that it's like there was no attention given. So what are men really expecting from women?
Well,
because they go to work and then we are the people taking care of the children. So now you are speaking as if the attention is given too much to the children more than you.
Well, I think a few things are very important, and one of the most important things is appreciation.
Yes.
Don't take for granted that your guy is there. Let him know you appreciate him.
Yes, exactly.
Make him feel important to you. Make him feel like he is number one. He's the most important person in your life.
Exactly.
That's what you should do.
So,
because that's what I do with women too.
Yeah. In what way would men be appreciated?
Compliments.
Compliments.
Men run when you give them a compliment.
Exactly. It's true.
They do. They do everything for compliments.
Yes.
But make sure that it's deserved.
Yes.
Yeah. See the positive side. Stimulate him.
Yes.
When he wants to learn, appreciate it.
Yes.
Support him.
Yes.
Yeah. Let him know that you're there, that you're behind him every step of the way.
Yes.
And that's exactly what I missed.
Wow.
She wasn't there. Not at anything.
Yeah, she wasn't there. She was so busy with her parents.
And
so,
with the kids, and with the house.
And with her girlfriends too.
She had no idea what happened outside that world. She thought Bill Clinton was the neighbor. She never heard of Mother Teresa.
Oh.
She never heard of her. I mean, 2 years I've told her, watch the news, read the newspaper, be present in this world.
Yes.
So I can talk to you. I can discuss things with you that happen in the world out there. Nothing.
Yeah, so,
totally nothing.
So many women are so much absorbed with domestic issues that they don't care about what happens outside them.
Yeah,
but from what you are speaking now, I can see that men like it when women can partake in current affairs, discuss issues. I mean, take some time and listen to the news.
Yeah, discuss the important things in life.
Wow.
What's your opinion on this? What is your opinion on this? She had no clue. She had no idea what I was talking about. And that kills the relationship.
Hello, caller. Yeah. We are fine. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't blame the women in the system they have here that encourage them, to play their cards like that. I think so. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir, for calling. Well, you heard him. He thinks the system is encouraging the women because the system is what have made the women to be the way they are, single mothers, because the system is not supporting the men, and then the system is backing them with too much money and all of those support. Yeah. So many of them go about just preferring to be single mothers and then kicking the men away.
Well, the problem is that the system still thinks that the woman is the weaker sex. And I can assure you they're not.
No.
They're not.
Now, Mr. Gerard, please tell us a little bit about that book. Can I just have a copy and see what you've written? Tell us a little bit about this book, Verloren Kinderen, The Lost Children. Why did you give it this title, really? The Lost Children.
Because I've lost my children.
Oh.
That's the only reason. And the book says it all. I spent 10 years fighting like a lion to get a glimpse, to get to see my children.
Wow.
And nothing happened. Nothing happened. I tried everything in my power I tried, and no result. No whatsoever. Yeah, well, not really. I had one visit, and bij de Raad van de Kinderbescherming.
Yes.
And well, let me draw the picture. You're in a room, 2 by 4. That's the room, and you sit here. Behind you, there's a social worker. Then you have a table from about 1.5 meter by 1.5 meter.
Yeah.
So an enormous table. Behind that, there's your daughter, and behind her is her mother.
Oh.
And on the right side of you, there's a complete wall with mirrors, and it's one-way mirror. So there are people there looking at you. So as you can imagine, you feel like a criminal.
Wow.
Everybody's watching you, and then you have to be spontaneous with your child. Well,
impossible.
Forget about it. Absolutely impossible.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the way the system treats you as a man.
Wow.
Yeah? And it took about 7 years to get this conversation with my daughter, to see her, to talk with her. And afterwards I found out that the only reason I was allowed to see my daughter by my ex is that after that she wanted me to stop fighting, stop going to court. She just wanted to get rid of all this bullshit.
Wow.
That's why she allowed me to see my child once. And
Till
afterwards, boom. So it was an excuse to get rid of me. That's what I find actually happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how does that make you feel?
Angry. Frustrated.
Is it as frustrated towards your wife or towards the sister?
It was the system.
And what do you think can be done to help this system? To let them know how people feel?
They have to change their attitude. They have to stop taking every word for granted. And they have to stop protecting these women in their denial of giving you your children, of letting you see your children. They have to stop cooperating with them. Yeah?
How can we really get to know who is speaking the truth among this the man or the woman? How can we really get to know? Than just taking a side,
Well,
taking a side.
There's a lot of ways you can find out if somebody's telling the truth. You can see it at his face. Yeah. At this moment, there's a TV program that's called Lie to Me.
Yeah, but if you talk about face, women can really do some real facial expressions.
Yeah.
We have the ability to cry very well.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So when they use all of those gimmicks and they go,
that's where the problem starts.
Yeah.
The people who are interviewing her and you and your kid, they're just not qualified enough.
How do you mean?
They're just not qualified enough to judge you, to talk to you, to find out if it's the truth or not what you're saying. They are the ones who should be the experts, but they're not. They don't have a clue. They just write down what you say and that's it. Nobody says, well, come on, hello, what you're saying here is completely bullshit, so now tell me the truth. Nobody does that. Nobody.
So in this book, yes. Hello, caller. Yeah, please. Exactly. Yes.
I would love to.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your contribution. Wow. You heard it. That you have to forgive and go forward with your life.
Oh,
but what?
I've already forgiven her because I know this is, well, how can I say it nicely? This is her way of trying to get me
Even with you.
to punish me, and I find it pathetic, sad that she has to do these things to try and get me, because
Because
I just went on with my life.
When she had you, she never valued you.
Yeah.
Because if she had valued you, she
Yeah.
wouldn't be doing all of these things now just to get
Yeah.
you back.
She
And that is always what happens to them.
She should have been the one who fought 10 years to see me, and not me fighting for 10 years to see my kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in this book, Veloring Kinderen, Lost Children, what message were you trying to bring out? Because of our time, we'll soon be signing off.
What I was really trying to, the message I was really trying to tell is, please watch what you're doing and what you're saying to the system, because the system will eat you up alive, will treat you as a criminal, and you don't deserve it. Yeah, because when you go to court and somebody says, well, you've molested my children, the judge doesn't have a clue, so he says to the council, you know, the social service, Raad van de Kinderbescherming, says, well, you know what, you do research on this and then we'll talk further. But the problem is they're not qualified. They don't have a clue what they are researching. They just put everything on paper and that's it.
But what sort of people do you think would be qualified? Because I've heard you saying this and saying that.
Well,
the government trusted those people and that's why they are doing that job. So what do you mean by they're not qualified?
At the end of all these trials, there was research done by the fora, where the psychological, how do you call it? They're specialized in these things.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They're like the CSIs of mental problems.
Yeah.
That's not the best description I can give. They did research on my ex, on my children, and at the end of the day they said, well, there are problems here and they should be treated.
Yes.
Because the children have problems, the mother have problems, they should be treated. And then at one day this report came out and we went to court, and then the social service said, well, we didn't notice that, so. And they just put it aside. And the judge just put it aside. This was a report of people who really know what they're talking about.
Yes.
And they just put it aside.
In other words, they were so biased.
It was absolutely incredible. I was completely shocked. I said, these are the guys who know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about. And you take their word for granted.
Yeah.
They said, well, we didn't notice that, so gone. And they just put it aside. The judge just put it aside. Well, then the question comes up that what value does this research have? You know?
Yes.
They do a research on my children, on my ex. They come up with a conclusion and nobody seems to care. They just put the conclusion aside and say, okay, boom, we're done. I've had enough of you, we're stopping the judges, we're stopping courts, we're stopping trials, I've had enough. That's what happened the last session of court.
What advice, because of time, what advice can you say to somebody out there right now?
Well, one of the most important advice that I can give is don't cooperate with any research, because they are not qualified to research you. Yeah, and it works. I've heard a few comments of people who did this, and it works. They see their kids on a regular basis, because they said, sorry Mr. Judge, but I'm not going to cooperate with any research of the social service because they're not reliable and they're not qualified. That's the only thing you can do. Because of all these researches, and it took about 10 years. 10 years of my life, I've been fighting for nothing against windmills. And it's all because of this system of social services. They don't have a clue. They just put everything on paper and then, okay, bye.
I think we are going to have you again on this program, but we don't know when, so that we can continue on, because you are bringing very important discussion that people do not know about the social workers. So we are signing off right now, but we want to say thank you, Mr. Wouters, for coming and for also this wonderful book you've written. I pray that many people will get to know about this book, Verloren Kinderen, and get to read it.
I hope so.
Thank you for coming to Radio Voice of Niger.
Okay, thank you very much for inviting me.
You're welcome.